Yep,
Is it
it's
on?
on, girl.
Let. All
Yeah.
right, so this is your favorite entrepreneur, Candace Billion Dollar Tongue, back at you with another episode. I got Tamiko here. She's a therapist. She's an RN, a community nurse. Um, but I'm gonna let her give you a little more on what she do. Can we have? Can you just introduce, like, tell us
Yeah.
about yourself? A wife, an auntie, a sister, my sister in particular, but
Yes.
a
I wouldn't have
daughter.
got myself together had I known we was gonna be on camera. But yes. Yeah, so I'm Tamiko. I like to consider myself a connector because I like to connect people. I like to talk to people. I like to be in community. I like to see what's out here. I like to be the liaison to community, whether that's for um, a client that I'm working with, whether that's for another organization that I'm working with. Um, just thinking about people, a part of the village.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
awesome, awesome, awesome. And she do a great job at that. Let me tell you,
Too.
she has so many programs, beneficial programs. She has helped so many people in the community. Has just helped me out as a sister, as a mom, and a first time mom, with the resources and But I wanted to talk to
Back
you.
and forth. I feel the same way.
Oh, thank you.
Hmm.
I really want to talk to you about therapy because I really think mental health, it's everybody knows it's a real thing,
Absolutely.
and sometimes people just need to talk about things just to reset themselves. So could you, like, tell us, like, the misconcepts that people have about getting therapy?
Yes. I think sometimes people considers their mental health outside of their health and well-being. When we think about physical health, I think one in one, mental health is a part of that. It's a part of our whole body. Just kind of thinking holistically, whether that's something's aching you on your foot or your hand, or something that's emotionally hurting. And so I think a misconception is that you have to be not functioning to see a therapist. Because you think about it, is sometimes it's great to have somebody to just bounce things off of, whereas they don't feel that it's something that so you can feel comfortable that, hey, what I say is going to be here. You're here for me.
Mm-hmm.
You're not, you don't know necessarily the person I'm talking about. So I think the misconception is that also that if you go to a therapist and try it out, that's the therapist you're stuck with. You ain't stuck with a therapist. If you don't mesh, it's okay, because it's someone out there that's for you. You have your village. Your village is waiting for you, just like somebody's waiting for you that you're gonna mesh with real nice.
So you said you can fire your therapist.
You can fire your therapist.
You can
Just
fire
yes,
your therapist.
absolutely. And I recommend it if it's not working for you, so that you're not going to it and then you think about, oh, it's never going to be better than this. Because and sometimes and therapists, look at who can I refer this person to that maybe a better uh, niche. It's in
Okay.
their niche. It's in their repertoire of what they do. And I think as therapists, we have to be real about that. We can't, although we want to be a blessing to everybody, sometimes we can harm people if we're not real about what our niche is, what our expertise is. So for me as a therapist, if there is someone that is coming in and it's something that in my intake, usually if you have a consultation, you have that discussion and you can kind of by the assessment know what could be beneficial for this person and link them in. So that's why I see myself as a connector, because sometimes it's
Okay.
good for those that it's good for. My village is there. My village is waiting for me, and I'm somebody's therapist, but I'm not
Absolutely.
everybody's therapist, and I
Wow.
recognize that.
Dang, that's huge. Like, even for me, like, that's a not just for me, but a lot of, although you're a therapist and you're my sister, I still feel like there's a lot of unsaid and unknown things that not just me, but a lot of people. Like, I don't know if it's fear to talk about it, or if it's buried, suppressed, or what it is. And I guess sometimes it can be like, if you talk about it, if you choose to talk about it, it can be like a relief. It can like relieve things. And like when someone like talk about issues or situations or whatever they need to talk about, like how does that affect that person after they get that off? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you hit some stuff there, right? Because sometimes we be dealing with it. You know, we still got to get up and go to work. We still got to take care of our family. We still got to show up in our lives. You know, so we do suppress things sometimes. It's a survival skill, and it depends on that person because there's no cookie cut way. Like what someone is resilient in one way or another, someone else that's a weakness, that's a trigger, that's a part of my core hurt. So for me, something that's a part of my core hurt, because that's how life is. That's the human experience. We have these ebb and flows of ups and downs and things and experiences. So the after of pulling out all of this, because you come into a space and you feel vulnerable. You've unleashed things that you have worked so hard to suppress. So it is that, how do I ground myself now that I've done that? And sometimes you need that grounding. Sometimes even as a client is coming in, they need grounding before they can even begin to have a discussion. For me, even when I'm coming from somewhere, I'm working as a nurse, and now I got to transition my mind for where I'm showing up for, because I can't go in my nursing world as a therapist. I mean, sometimes it plays a role, because I can analyze things a little bit differently or hear from different people and know where are the gaps, but I have to remember what role I'm in at the time, right? And then as I'm transitioning into my practice, then it's grounding myself, my five senses,
that balance,
the breathing. Where am I? How do I feel? And then at the end, like you said, okay, and then after the end, you brought some things up, some things you tried to suppress. Then how am I feeling? How am I going to tap in to what I'm feeling, and so that I can care for myself throughout where I'm going next.
Right. Yeah. Wow, yeah. Well, look, this was not planned.
Was not planned.
This is off top the dome. Like,
because
wow,
I would,
that's powerful.
But I love thinking about things like we always have deep conversations anyway. That's kind of like who we are. It's
right.
like being that connection. All of us, me, you, T, we have deep because it's like, and that's healing. Being able, and it's like you said, how does that impact someone when you go through something, like when you fall and bust your knee as a kid? How I'm gonna heal after that? How do people around me, are they saying, "Oh, look at that gooey ooey, I see it to the white meat," right? And they laughing, let me get in there. Or is it like, are you okay? Because it's not only is your knee hurting, how you doing right up in here, like, well, how can I help you?
Right.
So your village matters. Again, going back to that village, your village matters because, can I drive for you? Because your D is busted up right now. And your village is sometimes that people who be like, I know you got it. You typically got, but right now your knee is busted up, honey. I'm here. I can just like you do for me when I'm like skipping and hopping and stuff like that. Wait a minute, let me open that up for you because you swole today. Or either I'm gonna struggle through it and I'm gonna pay for it later.
Which one?
I better be off the next day.
That part. Which one?
Which one you want?
The struggle is real.
The struggle is real.
But and sometimes like we can get in our own way. We can be our own competition sometimes. Like, I mean, I try to do like a lot of self-help, self-development, just so I can be a better person on the inside. If it's what's on the inside, ultimately what's on the outside becomes that, your outside. So I try to work on myself as much as possible. But sometimes, are you working on yourself, like certain things ticks you, which after the after result, after the effect, you like, why did that tick me? Like what steps can a person take to like kind of, I guess, if it's avoidable, to like avoid like little things to make them tick? Like what should people be thinking about?
Ooh. Ooh.
Hopefully, I put you on the spot.
Nah, it's cool.
I should have read my mic with this, but
no, because what you saying is so relative, and it's the understanding that it is some things that typically on a normal day when I'm not stressed, I have the day off the next day to kind of pour back into myself. I'm not hungry, so I have my basic needs, right? So Maslow's hierarchy of needs is gonna be how I'm gonna show up based on, do I got what I need, right? And if I don't have what I need, whether that's emotional, spiritually, whether that's physically, whether all of those things that make us well,
okay,
that trigger may show up a little bit more, because what you're talking about is triggers. And the one thing that I can say about triggers is identify the top three triggers, because then you're already a little bit more prepared that when that trigger comes, right? Because we talking about we not fighting against flesh and blood. That's a whole nother discussion, right? It's because things come for you, right? It come up for you, and a person that that did whatever it is that triggered you, they may not even know it, right? They don't even know it. That's about my self-worth, because somebody triggered me, right? First I gotta know and accept and receive that is my trigger,
right?
Because if I haven't accepted it, then it's you did this to me, you did it, and you did it, and you did it. So but when I turn it in, like, why did I go there? Like any other day, I had nothing to eat all day, I'm starving, right? So it's really identified. So I know if I'm hungry, I'm a little more shorter.
What they call what they call it when you hungry and Betty? Is it Betty?
Oh yeah.
Because is that what it is? I forgot.
You talking about that
Snickers.
commercial?
Yeah, the commercial.
Yeah,
I forgot it.
Yeah, from the Golden Girls. Yeah. Yeah. So it's gonna, and it triggers you because it smell like, feel like, taste like that thing. That it, what you talked about when you said it, because it can be anything.
Yeah.
So that it is a trigger, and it's identifying what is the it. So, and it's sometimes you might be working with someone that reminds you of someone else. It reminds you of it. It ain't an it, right? It's a person.
Yeah.
Or it's something that they said, and they said it like them. That hurt me way back. Or when I was in high school. It's a reminder from that. Some core hurt that happened, and I was the most embarrassed at that point in time. But it's identifying what is your trigger. And it shows up, it's physiological. It shows up in your body sometimes. So what I do is I encourage the families that I work with to identify what's your top three triggers. So think about it. It ain't nothing you got to talk about this day. But as we go on through our sessions together, I want you to work to try and identify them if you can. Because sometimes we're so good. Ooh, our brains so good as protecting us, because we're set up for protecting ourselves, for survival. It's all survival. But when we can identify that there is something that triggers us, then we can start to work toward how do we reframe that trigger. And the things that person told us about ourselves that we believe that are no longer serving us, and they might have told us that because they were afraid. They were afraid because of things that were in their it. So things that used to protect us because of the time, the place, the purpose, whatever reason, people may have been doing it in our family that it may have been like, I need to protect my family. As Black people, as Black culture, I know that when I look at you. You need to know how to straighten up in public because somebody else may kill you. So that it was a protection to keep you alive. We're set up for survival, but we have to recognize what is our it, right?
Right. So it goes back to, I remember one time you taught me the iceberg.
Ooh, that's my thing right there.
The iceberg.
That iceberg. Say something about that
The
iceberg.
iceberg, red. So the iceberg, how I remember it, but Miko can break it down. I can help Miko. Way better than I could. But how I remember, so to make it relatable so everybody think about the Titanic and the iceberg. So your life is like the iceberg, and your iceberg, what's deep at the bottom, is your experiences that you don't went through, or your life or your journey that you went through. Where and how I think about it is up under that part is up under the water, which is like the surface. Like the water is like the surface, and then whatever is at the top of the iceberg is what people see. But underneath
Core.
the core. Go ahead and explain it.
You said it. I should shut my mouth.
No, go ahead.
You got it.
No, go ahead.
That is it, right? Because these are the behaviors on top that we're seeing. Oh dang, Miko got look irritated. That's what I said. Like we going back to back. What the heck? She hungry? Because the value of mine is eating. Or no, or what's the value? What's the belief? What are the things that told us how we're supposed to experience the world? It became a part of survival. It became a belief. And now when you're telling me something that's different than my belief, that my value system, then I'm questioning you. Yeah, women, that ain't what I was taught, right? Oh, you gonna walk in my house and not speak to me?
That part.
Wait a minute. So that's what I saw. I saw you walk past me and didn't say anything. Now, my grandmother told me,
what?
if you come into somebody's house, girl, do you know your time to speak?
That part.
I'm like, what? You like, huh? Well, what? So now, as I'm growing up, I'm learning that if you don't speak and you came in the house and I'm sitting there, you walked over my feet even and didn't speak. Now that can show up in the job, right? Because you're like, now this person don't like me because they ain't speak to me. They walk right by me. They ain't say nothing. They ain't open their mouth. Not knowing what they dealing with up under here. They ain't eat this morning. They blood sugar's off. So they trying to survive. They just trying to get to work on time.
Absolutely.
Ain't nobody know. They got stopped by the popo. They done got, anything could be happening in someone's life. Or they scared because their family is the popo. They scared about their survival. Either way, it goes both ways, right? So, it's showing up that something off. They didn't speak to me. I was right here. They spoke to everybody but me. I've had people tell me, hey, I would speak to you. I didn't ask for this information, but I would speak. But you always look busy. I'm at work. You always look, you pass by me. You always look busy, so I don't say anything. So is you feeling some kind of way? Is that why you stopped me to tell me you usually don't speak to me because I look busy because I'm at work on the computer because I'm busy? That's neither here nor there. You asked me about the iceberg.
No, okay. Go
ahead.
That
was a trigger, wasn't it?
It was a trigger.
So we would, but then there's some other people who were taught that, hey, I came into the house. You supposed to speak. I came into that. So we were dealing first with somebody who said, I'm already sitting. You come into the house. You supposed to speak, right?
Yeah.
And then you got another person who came from another form of reference, another experiences and values and beliefs. And they come into the house and nobody says anything because they're waiting on you to speak. Now you wait for them to speak. So that is that core, that iceberg is like, okay, so both people, not wrong, by the way, because your experience is your experience. Both are not wrong. That's just that a part of their core belief. That's what they learned. Someone taught everybody what they got taught because because they wanted to protect them. They wanted them to survive. They wanted people to see their child as a good person. So they were taught, hey, speak when you come in, or hey, speak when people come in. And then when those core values and beliefs don't, so that's when we get in relationships and it's time to communicate what's up under here, because all we know is we like each other. We got gooey eyes for each other. We love each other. But then when these core things that both of us got two different sets, not wrong, just different.
Yeah.
So when we're together and we're not now clicking, now we got to be able to be comfortable and be vulnerable to say, what hurt me was, I walked in and you didn't say nothing. I thought you was upset with me.
Yeah.
Or I walked in and you didn't say nothing. So that's that iceberg, right? So that's where communicate. Then you can do something about that, right?
Yeah.
Then you know my trigger.
Yeah.
I know your trigger.
Yeah.
Now if I do it again, well, I might need to be reminded.
Okay.
But if I do it again and again, man, maybe
that part, you just don't care.
You don't care.
You just don't care.
We can't play because we ain't no yo-yo. But
yeah. But okay, so what about first? Let's finish up this first. So I was gonna say, I don't know if you ever heard of a guy called Bob Parker. He teaches people like mindset, like I would say mind hacking, and understanding that it might be another word for it, but understanding basically what you just explained. Everybody have a paradigm. Okay, so one paradigm might be what you explained, the other one might be also what you explained. Two different paradigms, and sometimes you have like you think yours is right, like this is right, but you don't know there's other things out there. You don't know what you're doing. Basically, you don't know what you don't know until you be exposed to it. So figure out your circle. Long story short, figure out your circle, your environment. But always, never be the smartest one in the room. Okay, be the smartest one in the room, then just don't.
You're not open. You're not open
to learning. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So always.
What's his name again?
Bob Parker. So he talk about the frequencies, and everything is on a different frequencies. The shares we send on, you on a different frequency. This the camera, the live, everything is on a different frequency, and we have to like match that frequency. Say for instance, like we was talking about earlier today, like investing in having homes or duplexes or complexes or whatever. You have to vibrate on that frequency as someone who already doing it. So what you gotta do, you have to think as if you already have it and work backwards instead of not having it, trying to get there instead to get think. And I just figured this out this week, and I'm gonna go in and look it up. I haven't looked it up yet, so so y'all don't say nothing to me until I do my research. But they said in the Bible, I heard that in the Bible it says speak it.
As if it is.
Yeah. So with that being said, like you speak what you want into existence. So it's a manifestation. Like we have the ability to manifest things. Vision boards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Creating a vision board, looking at it every day, speaking it every day, writing it down.
Then you do the things, the steps to get to it.
Exactly.
And you don't even know that it's before you know it, it's there.
That part.
The Empire State Building started in somebody's mind, right?
Yeah.
Huge building. But it started as a concept.
Yeah. Everything starts in the mind. These roads, these cars that we drive every day.
Make it plain.
See, so it's crazy because how everything connects. So you got the spiritual in the Bible, the physical, touching, this emotional, so how you think, the things you think, how you feeling. And they said having like feeling and put feelings into it will help it. Help your think, help your goals, your desires manifest. So your feelings. So understanding like your experiences, and when you figure out that there's a trigger, like whatever type of emotion you have to that trigger, if it's negative, you can manifest negative things as well.
Reframing it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love
Or
it.
you can manifest positive things. Faith. You can have faith in good or bad.
Yes.
So whatever you put your feelings into,
And your words.
and your words,
Speaking it into
that
existence.
part. So that's crazy. So how
Negative or
everything's
positive.
connected.
And it's so interesting. Yeah, it was one time. I just think about like you're talking, like you could speak things over, like speaking, like they say, speaking spells.
Mm-hmm.
Speak spell,
Yeah.
spelling,
Yeah.
spelling.
Ooh. And they teach us that in school, spelling,
Yeah,
spells.
spells.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like the belief of things, that I think, we're like the Matrix. There are so many different layers
Yeah.
to life, to existence,
Yes.
and all of those pieces that you spoke of,
Yeah.
and even more, cultural well-being,
Mm-hmm.
locational,
Yeah.
uh,
Environment.
all of that. It all manifests something.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about what's in our water, what's in our drinking, and a lot of people are returning to the earth where herbs are, because we don't always know what is in what we're taking. If it's just kind of, we just purchase it, but it's getting back into the dirt. And it's something about, like you said, we're outside. You got me some vitamin D. I'm like, the best, because so often we spend time inside.
Yeah, we do.
And I think of like our hair, it's like a plant. It grows. You water, sun, all of that.
Let's not talk about the
Grows
hair.
to the sun.
Like let's
Like all of that. Like, I'm not gonna cover that up, because I mean you do your thing, but it's just, it is things that resonate with the environment that makes us well. Like a plant.
Yeah.
If we're like plant, I mean, like, we're living things.
Yes, absolutely. So I heard that like your hair, eye hair in particular, horsehair is like antennas.
Kinetic.
Yeah. Like
Sure.
it, and it's.
What's
You
up?
get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, that's like wow.
It's a
that's
beautiful thing, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah. Like you really think about it. Like think about like on that level, on that type of level, like being in like our higher self, understanding that we have that ability, that God-like ability to create whatever we desire. Like if we just take time and then like in nature like heightens
Yeah.
that.
And it's you're understanding who you are and whose you are.
That's know yourself, know thyself.
I mean,
Somebody said that. I mean, I know who said it, but know thyself. Know thyself.
so and it's like being, I think there is so much, and so many people that come into therapy, you can come from any perspective, but it is knowing your perspective, knowing what drives you, knowing what triggers you, knowing what you're feeling zapped out in and why. And I think about therapy as you're getting to hear from yourself without external influence of one way or the other. It's you're putting everything out there on the wall, and then a summary of, okay, this is what I'm hearing you say. Is that what you meant? No, that's not what I meant. I meant it like this. Oh, so then now so is this parallel to that? Okay, so then now we pulling out things. So then you have a straight sentence, because how trauma comes in is that trauma puts everything like this.
Chaos.
Right? But it is so you can survive, right? So that it's out there. But when you begin to talk about it and put those things together, then you got a straight line. And it makes more sense to you of why and how and what and when and what you need to do to get what you're looking for. And your behavior, what's showing up here, is that getting you to what you want as your outcome? So then what inputs need to happen for your wellness?
Wow, that part. I love it. That's crazy.
I love therapy. I mean,
I gotta think
I learned in doing therapy from my clients. I love working and talking to people, and there are things that I can share with them.
Yeah.
You know, and then and things that I can take from different amount of sessions to something else because I see it and it's parallel to things that people may be experiencing in their life. And it's not telling a person what or how to think, but it's allowing them to hear themselves.
That part.
Because that's the core, right?
Yeah.
Because that gut, like they say, listen to your gut. It's really stuff in your gut telling you one way or the other. Are we listening to our guts?
Yes. So, like, I don't want to tell my age, but like I found out.
Spring chicken.
Yeah, I'm a spring chicken. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I found out that over time you find this out. Like your gut will tell you like which direction to go to, and if you don't listen to it, that after hindsight 2020, you like, I knew that. Like your gut, like I mean, 98% correct. Like it's crazy.
Yes.
So how I think of it. So at one point I was like, okay, that's my gut speaking, but now I feel like that's my spirit. Yeah, that's my spirit already like was already there before I was there and telling me, like speaking to me, like. And a lot of times I don't do things, I don't go places because I try to like go within myself and try to question myself, like, should I do that? Is this, what should I do today? Like talking, asking myself, my spirit, like guide me, like tell me, because this is what I want to do, but stopping yourself and being like, yo, show me, guide me.
Right.
Guide my footsteps. What should I do today?
You know, that's a whole nother level. And I wish I had more time. But for me, it's the Holy Spirit within me. And the guidance of that. I mean, from everything. You know, and sometimes you don't be feeling good. But your spirit, your soul, and we are just, these are bodies, right? But it's a soul inside. When the soul leaves the body, this is just something that we just carried the soul around. And so, and once we realize that, we begin to make soul connections, right? And so we have to be very thoughtful about, are we making trauma bonds, trauma connections? Because that's a whole nother thing. Or are we making soul connections that are good for our well-being? And so we have to know thyself to even know, like, is this a part of my spiritual wellness? And does it respect what I need to be physically, emotionally, spiritually, culturally, vocationally, all of those well things that makes us well? Or is it taken away from us, right? So, but we have to tap in, and sometimes it's tapping into a therapist because we don't want to talk about it yet with other people, because we don't want anybody that's going to shift our thinking when we're trying to tap into what we need, not what someone else thought of what they think we're supposed to be, but what we need.
That part.
But I wish I had to go.
Gotta go. It's time to go. All right, we sign it off.
Thank you, sister.
No, thank you. Look at you. I ain't gonna move at a spot like that.